Welcome back, everybody, to Sisters-in-Law of Attraction podcast. I'm Sam,
And I'm Christine.
and we're so thrilled you came back and joined us today. We want to dig a little bit deeper and get a little more specific on tools and rituals, practices that you can use to get in high vibration and get your mindset right, so that you can allow for the universe to deliver what you are meant to receive and live a great life. But Christine, I wanted to start with my little trip to New York City.
Oh, I can't wait to hear all about it.
So this trip, I went with a couple of actually girlfriends. One is a former neighbor, and I feel like I manifested this trip probably 15 years ago. So at the time, she lived across the street, and she had her friend over, and they were talking about seeing these Broadway shows, and every fall they would go to New York City. And I remember saying, "Oh my gosh, I totally want to do that one day." And so a couple months ago, that one day came, and my friend said to me, she goes, "Well, what do you think? We're going. Do you want to join?" And I said, "Yes, of course." So we had a blast. It was so much fun. And what's super interesting is that these three ladies are all 73 years old. I'm 20 years their junior, and they're just like, "Oh my God, Sam, why do you want to hang out with us?" I said, "Because you're fun."
Fun, and I can learn from you.
Exactly. Exactly. And and I just we had a blast, and they, we took the subway everywhere. Every night we went to a Broadway show.
So
We,
fun.
took the subway into the Bronx to Yankee Stadium. And but I got to tell you, coming out of Yankee Stadium after the game and trying to get into that subway was unreal. But I actually had to grab one of the ladies off of the one of the trains because she got on the wrong damn train.
No.
But when I was getting ready to go, my mom, says to me, "Well, are you looking forward to your trip?" And I said, "No, Mom, I'm dreading it." She goes, "Well, if I were you, I'd be a little scared."
Scared of what?
Yes. And so, just the whole perception of, New York City being unsafe and all of this. And it's like, "No, Mom, I am not going to live my life, fearful of what might happen, because guess what? Bad things happen everywhere."
All the time.
And I got to tell you, we just, New York City was just so much fun. They do such a great job with, green space, and we walked the High Line. And, I can totally get why people live here, or live there rather. And then we did a food tour in Greenwich Village. We walked by Bob Dylan's, little apartment, and the apartment that Taylor Swift, she rented it, and it was on Cornelia Street, and that's where she wrote Cornelia Street. So anyhow, I had a blast. But that's just, again, Christine, just one more example of being clear about what you want,
Yeah.
putting it out there, and manifesting it, and and then the universe delivers. So
And being patient with, right? Being
right, well, that
patient,
was
waiting
15
for
years.
the universe to deliver.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, how easy it would have been for me to say, "No, I don't need to spend that money right now."
Sure.
Or, "I've got 50 million things to do here, at the house." And who am I? Who am I to jump on a plane and fly, coast to coast, and go and enjoy an entire week of Broadway shows? And who am I?
Yeah.
I clearly I deserved it and had a fabulous time. And so anyhow,
You manifested it. If it wasn't meant for you, it wouldn't have come to you.
exactly, exactly. And I had such again, a great feeling connected to that trip,
Yeah.
right? I visualized it, I saw it, and I thought, "You know what? This is fun. I want to do that." So,
Yeah.
anyhow, so I think
I love
I
it.
think what we should do is, everyone says, and you have mentioned before, Christine, that you recognized my mindset and you wanted it. You just didn't know how to get it.
Right. Yeah. That is accurate. I think it's something that I have kind of dabbled in and out of and known that this is the mindset that I wanted to get to, but for so long felt like it was unattainable. I just wasn't that person. I didn't have the ability or the tools to get there. I just was different. It wasn't going to work for me, or whatever the story I told myself was, right?
Right, right. Well, and so many people ask me too, well, what do you do? Right. And I think it's clearly we're all on our own journey and our own path. And so what works for me doesn't necessarily won't necessarily work for you or, for our listeners, because we're all in different seasons of our life. Because what I do now to, get into the right mindset every day, there's no way I could have done that when I was raising,
Right.
kids. The
Oh,
mornings
absolutely.
are nuts. Now, I say that, yeah, there's something I could have done. I could have gotten up 45 minutes earlier, right? But I think the biggest thing that shifted for me was this gratitude, what I call the gratitude journal.
Hmm.
We've heard over and over again, you have, showing gratitude and just writing down the things that you're grateful for really can shift because when you're in a state of gratitude, you can't be fearful. And
Exactly.
it sort of opens you up. So this is kind of how my day starts. So we're going to start there and then we'll jump into some of your rituals because you're in the throes of raising two darling teenage girls. So
When I
you're
hear about your amazing peaceful mornings, I say, "Oh, that sounds lovely. I'll get there one
and
day."
you will. You're going to manifest it. You totally are. So, I've shared before, obviously, that I obviously have a relationship with God. I'm a practicing Catholic, and so in the morning when I wake up, it's a quick little prayer, and dear God, thank you so much for this day. I'm so blessed, and help show me the way today. And so then I come out and I sit in my morning chair. I've created a space in my living room where it's a comfy little chair, it's my little area, and I light my candle, turn on my music, and I get out my gratitude journal and it literally write 10 I am grateful fors. And it could be, little things, big things, like for example, this morning it was I am grateful for the cool morning air and just experiencing just really and then big things today I am helpful or hopeful I am grateful for helpful people
Yeah.
and I want to just put that into the universe because that is the experience that I want to have today. So this all works because my husband does boot camp in the morning at 6 a.m. and he's a talker man in the morning. I don't want to talk. So I
I
have
want
this whole
silence. I want to be
ritual,
left alone.
right? I have this whole ritual that I can do, and then by the time he gets back at 7 a.m., okay, I'm ready to talk. And so and we can talk about all the things, all the things of life, that we need to talk
Yeah.
about. The other thing too, what I've also added to the ritual is I don't immediately make my cup of coffee, right? I
Mm.
drink my water and I just want to be fully present. And then after I do my gratitude journal, then I, brew my first cup of coffee and I go stand outside. And this is kind of what you could call grounding. I know my son really gets into the, barefoot on the grass and really grounding. But we have this big, beautiful tree in the backyard and it's a kind of a weeping willow, just really just kind of peaceful and effortless and I call it the tree of wisdom. And so I go out there with my cup of coffee and I'm just mindful in that moment to take that first sip and look at the tree of wisdom and just literally the mantra in my head is thank you. Thank you. Right, that's it. So anyhow, so that's how I start my day and gets me, in the right lane. But I know that your ritual perhaps comes at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, okay, so I will say that mine, they're not wrapped up in pretty like yours. I will say the one I consistently every single day, you will find me in a bath by 5 p.m.
Love it,
That
love
is
it.
my time to rinse the day away, wash the day away, have my decompression time, not be available to anybody for anything. Is It's just my time to listen to a podcast or read a book or put on spa music or just have silence. And going back to being grateful for all things small and big. The weather here has turned a bit. And so instead of being 105 at, 5 o'clock, it is now, I don't know, like 80, 78, and it's beautiful. And I can open my window. So I have my hot bath and a breeze, and it's the best thing ever.
Love
Um,
it.
yeah, no, it is. It's truly, it's gotten to the point where my husband takes over any like evening transportations because everybody knows mom's in the bath at that time, dad goes and dad goes and does the rest.
Right?
So yeah, so that works out very well. Along with that, like you said, the journaling, the gratitude, just constantly being in a state of gratitude.
Yeah.
And writing those down, and even if they're repetitive, even if sometimes you are in a rut and you can't think of actually, I take that back. I think you can always think of things to be grateful for. Here
Agreed.
I am thinking like, "Oh, just need to repeat." No, that feels living small. No, you can absolutely always find things to be grateful for. Whether
Right.
it's, like you said, the crisp, cool air outside, or a massive check that you didn't expect, or whatever it is.
Right.
We can always find it, as long as we're looking for it. But you have
Yeah.
to look for it. You have to look for the joy,
Well,
you
and
have to look for the gratitude.
that's where the discipline comes in, right?
Right.
And it's just like with anything. When you train your body for a run or, you're studying for a test, you're training your brain to do something different, right? And
Creating
so,
new neural pathways, new ways of thinking, yeah, you nailed it.
exactly. And I think one of my favorite things that you've said on a previous podcast is, you know what? I'm just going to decide to not worship the problem,
Yeah.
right? I that is I just thought it was absolutely brilliant. And so turn it upside down. I'm going to worship the solution. I'm
Yep.
going to have faith that there's in the face of this challenge, I'm going to have faith that there is an answer and there's a solution. I'm going to worship that. I'm not going to, circle the drain around this, death, doom, and destruction,
Right.
kind
That
kind of
that
thing.
by the way may or may not come to fruition. The thing
Exactly.
you're worried about may not even happen.
Right.
So
Yeah.
why not focus on the gratitude? Focus, and I'm not saying toxic positivity, everything is so good and the world is perfect and blah blah, like
Right.
no,
Right.
not that. It's about knowing that life is going to happen, things are going to happen, but that you have the tools and almost a foundation to lean back on when things aren't going well.
Right.
And so having things like your daily baths that are grounding, or your daily morning rituals that you do, Sam, it's those are foundationally grounding. Like when the
Right.
world is crazy, when life is crazy, when you're busy and running around, okay, at least you have those things that are kind of cornerstones that you can go back to. Okay, I have
Right.
my gratitude list. I have my journaling. I have my dog at home, right? Who I just
Yes.
enjoy petting, right? Just pet an animal. Rinse
Yes.
rinse the day away in the shower. I tell my kids that all the time. After a long day at school,
Yep.
go rinse the day away. Rinse the problems, let them go down the drain, and
Love it.
visualize that, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
anything with water is
Yes. No, yeah,
just
water is so, right, the energy in water, and it's so calming. And
mhm.
I swear I was a sailor in another life because when I get on a boat anytime, like I do, in my mind, I'm actually going to, I'm going to put this out there right now. I'm going to sail a boat. Like I'm going to learn how to
Yeah,
actually sail a boat. So
yes.
there,
You
I
are
just put
going
that
to
out there.
sail a boat. It's going to be amazing. I'll be right there with you.
Yes. But no, I think for me, the way I look at it, Christine, is it's a toolkit, right? You've
Yes.
got lots of little tools in your toolkit, and like I told my kids long ago, you know, your faith was a gift that you were given, and that's just one of many tools, right? Faith in the Lord, faith in, something larger than you, the universe or whatever, faith that is all actually going to work out. And then, these tools that we're talking about are so simple,
Hmm.
but yet so hard when you're faced with, a busy life and, horrible news and you're being pulled in all kinds of different directions. And you almost feel silly
Mm,
in a way to, sit down with your gratitude journal and, I am grateful for it. It's like, seriously, the world is literally falling down around you and you're grateful for the cool morning air. Like, give me a break. But
mm,
it's so, so important. The other thing I do too is a daily walk
mm.
to kind of connect with nature.
Yeah.
And this is kind of what I consider my meditation time. I'm very careful to not, put things in my ear like music. There's time I like to, listen to podcasts, of course. But having that quiet time and really paying attention.
Hmm.
You're walking and you're seeing the beautiful sky and you're looking at the trees and again, there's just something very um, cleansing
Yes.
to have that sort of reconnection time with nature, and that's where I get some really great thoughts.
Absolutely. I listened to Mel Robbins' podcast at one point, and she had excuse me, a walking expert on, which sounds
Yep.
extraordinarily silly, right? But like it was absolutely fascinating because he went through and discussed all of the different types of walks and pick what your intention is. What kind of a walk do you want to do? Do you want to get your creative juices going? Do you want to meditate? Do you want to use it as a workout? Do you want to lots of different kinds of walks, and
Right.
what you listen to or don't listen to changes depending on the type of walk. How fast you go, where you're looking, where your vision line is, your eye line. Like
Right.
all of it is all of it has a purpose. And I thought
Right.
that was so fascinating. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, no, and years ago I read a book, and I will we'll put this on resources on the website. It's called Rest, and in that it really talked about some of the greatest thinkers, the greatest, most talented writers of our time. They understood the importance of rest. So really
Mhm.
and truly their most productive time, right, is in those early morning hours where you can, when you're your clearest. And then you take a break and you literally go for a walk and you rest that front part of your brain and let the back part of your brain process and take care of the problems and the issues or the challenges or whatever. And that's why sleep is so, so important, because you turn off your brain and you allow the other parts of your brain, to attend whatever the challenges or the issue or that sort of thing. So anyhow, I wanted to dovetail a little bit on that, Christine, because you know, we talk about meditation. And here's the other thing about meditation, it's not just quieting your mind and trying to like turn it off.
No, I think
No,
that's the beauty of meditation is that people can meditate in so many different ways that works for them. Whether
right,
it's a walking meditation, whether it's a sitting meditation, whether it's standing in the shower and letting the water just hit your back or hit your face. There are lots of ways to meditate, and it doesn't have to be, you have to be sitting cross-legged for a minimum of
right.
5 minutes and no talking and
Yeah.
close your eyes.
So I have to tell this quick story. So, are you interested? You're probably interested, but are you aware of spas where you
Yes.
float?
Yeah.
So it's
I've
a
never done
zero.
it. That would be
Okay.
cool if anybody wants to sponsor us.
Right. So my husband and I go, this is years ago. And, for those of you who don't know what a float spa is, basically you get into a pod and, it's salt water. So you're very buoyant and it's supposed to be zero gravity, but it's supposed to be, get all it gets dark and you can choose music, the whole thing. And it's amazing how heavy your head is. Like when your body is so buoyant, like your head really is the heaviest darn thing on your body. And your head's like, it's like going underwater or whatever, but they have these little floaty things or whatever. But I got to tell you, and you're allegedly supposed to, go naked because you're supposed to like totally, have no like sensory deprivation
Okay.
on every
Okay.
level. I could not go there because I needed to be ready in a moment's notice, because what if the building like caught on fire, right? And so this is what's going through my
We're
brain.
going out naked.
No, I put a bathing suit on. So I am in this float spa. And of course, here's what's going on in my head. I'm like, oh my God, I'm claustrophobic. I can't close. It's like an egg, and you can't, like, I could not close the whole thing because I started hyperventilating. So this is me, a total nightmare in this float spa. And I'm thinking about, oh my gosh, like there's gonna be a fire and I've got to run
Oh,
out. So I got to be ready at a moment's notice.
this is
And then I
not your
started,
type of meditation.
no. And then I'm thinking about, oh my God, is this like this water like dirty? Like how to, like the whole thing? It's so dumb. So we get out, and my husband is so, it's the most peaceful I have ever seen him. He goes, oh my God, Sam, it was amazing. He goes, I feel like I just slept for a week. And I'm like, well, I suck. I completely failed the float spa and whatever. So anyhow, that's another thing I'm going to try again. I'm going to try and really, really give in to the process and quiet the mind. But here's the deal. When you meditate and you try to just attend to your thoughts, it's okay. Don't fight them, and just kind of lean into it. But anyhow, I am so grateful that we have this opportunity to talk together and with a community of people on how we can continue to get in that lane of joy and gratitude, and
Mhm.
that we can start accepting the things that are meant for us.
I love that. I love that. And I will say one other thing. Just remember every day, lots of reminders to yourself to unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, and put a smile on your face.
That's it. That's it. No, I mean, obviously with the whole physicality, right? If you focus even just on the physical, the mind,
Yeah,
the mind,
will
clearly will
follow.
follow.
I mean, so many times I catch myself like, oh, teeth
Yeah.
clenched, jaw clenched, like, okay, relax. It's
Yeah.
going to be okay.
Yeah, yeah, relax is it's gonna be so okay.
Yeah.
Well, as always, our time just flies so
It
fast, but
goes way too fast.
I know, but we're excited for the next time. And thank you again for joining us. We're thrilled you're with us on this journey. And this is Sisters-in-Law of Attraction. I'm Sam,
And I'm Christine.
and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.